put them in. That's our like giveaway. You open the box and that's the cake. No, it's, I Good morning. It's great to have you here. My name is Tony Fisher. I serve this congregation as minister, and I am grateful for you. I have usually on my script on Sunday morning, this morning I'd like to express my gratitude for, and all that's on here this morning is a little ... So I'd like to express my gratitude for you. You have volunteered yourselves to be here this morning, and you don't have to be. Isn't that a great thing? I'm very grateful for that. And I'm also grateful to have Janet Hoffman here as our worship associate this morning.
Thank you, Tony. And good morning to all of you. Thank you. We're so glad that you have joined us, whether you are here in the sanctuary, watching from home on Facebook, or sitting out on the pavilion. Please know that you are always welcome here. We are a welcoming congregation, freely seeking intellectual and spiritual growth. We strive to create a community, a larger community of peace, justice, and love. Here, we are all learning and growing together and trying to live our values of love, generosity, and equity out in the public. If you are new to our congregation, we are especially grateful that you found us, and our hope is to make you feel welcome and help you find ways to connect. And now, let us take a deep breath and settle ourselves in for this time of worship with the morning's prelude.
Two of us riding nowhere, spending someone's hard-earned pay. You and me Sunday driving, not arriving on our way back home. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. We're going home. Two of us sending postcards, writing letters on my wall. You and me burning matches, lifting latches on our way back home. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. We're going home. You and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. Two of us wearing raincoats, standing solo in the sun. You and me chasing paper, getting nowhere on our way back home. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. We're going home. You and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. Two of us wearing raincoats, standing solo in the sun. You and me chasing paper, getting nowhere on
Afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. Henceforth, I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Henceforth, I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticisms, strong and content, I travel the open road. Please join me in the chalice lighting words you see on the screen and in your order of service. The earth expanding, right hand and left hand, every part in its best light, the music falling in where it is wanted and stopping where it is not wanted, the cheerful voice of the public road. And let's rise and body your spirit and sing our opening hymn, Come, Come, Wherever You Are. We'll do it as a round, as usual, and we'll see how far we go, okay?
You're 1 and 2, right?
Yeah. Same old. Yeah. Ready? Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, yet again come. Awesome, as usual. It is, it's great. So those words that we sang were adapted from a poem by the 13th century Sufi scholar and mystic Jalal ad-Din Muhammad Rumi. Rumi considered travel an important part of an individual's full education. In another one of his poems, he wrote, "The real truth of existence is sealed until after many twists and turns in the road." In this, he may have been echoing his namesake, the Prophet Muhammad, who said, "Don't tell me how educated you are. Tell me how much you have traveled." You'll notice Muhammad didn't say, "Tell me how far you have traveled," or "Don't tell me where you have traveled." The Prophet said, "Don't tell me how educated you are. Tell me how much you have traveled." For the time we spend on the road, for all the time we spend on the road, the better the chance along the way that we learn something about ourselves and about the world that can't be found in a library. And still, a certain attitude is required. Joseph Campbell, the wonderful scholar and writer, was once asked for some travel advice. He'd given a talk on ancient Greek gods and goddesses, and in the conversations that followed the lecture, one woman was eager to tell him about her coming journey to Greece to find the spirit of the goddess he had just spoken about. She opened her notebook and showed him her carefully constructed and extremely detailed itinerary, with everything planned practically down to the minute. She asked if he thought her planning sufficient. And with great kindness and dignity, Campbell took the woman's free hand and responded, "Dear lady, I sincerely hope that all does not go according to plan." And the woman walked away a little bit confused. Campbell turned to a friend who had been listening in and said, "Unless you leave room for serendipity, how can the spirit or wonder enter in?" The beginning of the adventure of finding yourself, he said, is to lose your way. Somewhere within each one of us is a lost soul. We all know that. Well, I assume that because that's me. But also there dwells a wanderer, a pilgrim, a gypsy, each with our own traveling music. The English travel writer Bruce Chatwin once wrote about a vision he had gleaned from the Aboriginal people of Australia. And what he imagined were song lines stretching across continents and ages. He envisioned that whenever and wherever people had trodden, they had left a trail of song of which we may now and then catch an echo. And that all trails reach back in time and space to an isolated pocket in the African savanna where the first human beings followed their urge to move and found their voice to sing the opening stanza of the world's song. The intentional traveler strains to hear those echoes and follows an open heart as opposed to a detailed itinerary, understanding that what matters most on the journey is how richly you see and how deeply you feel all the encounters along the way. And that is what we're about today, a service for travelers and for singers of song. Let's remain seated and join together in singing our centering hymn, Comfort Me. The words will be on the screen, slightly different than in the Teal hymnals. If you want to, look at the music. It's 1002 in the Teal hymnal.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Move with me, move with me, move with me, oh my soul. Move with me, move with me, move with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
So much going on in the world these days, so many anxieties that we all hold. The climate alone raises our anxiety level. So many events, so much heat. We carry with us those anxieties, the anxieties of a changing political system, and still, each and every day, we have our own cares and concerns. If you have something that you'd like to share with this incredible congregation this morning, I urge you to raise your hand. I'll bring you the microphone. Tell us your name and what's in your heart. If you're on the pavilion and have the ability to come inside and share, we would welcome you here. Anyone this morning? Thank you, Chris. There you go.
I'll be brave. I'm Chris Barrett.
Right into the mic there.
I'm Chris Barrett. Can you remember?
Yeah, let me see if it's on there.
Maybe it's not on.
The red one, Dan. I don't know. We get more heat. Let's try the other one.
We're good to go. I'm sure you can hear me. I'm Chris Barrett, 10-year member, and my joy today is that I brought two of my friends who live at the Arlington with me who have never been in a Unitarian church.
All right.
So we have Carol and Nancy,
Great. Welcome to
who
you
are
both.
having a first-time experience today.
Well, not your totally typical service, but not untypical either. So, great. Here, I saw a hand back here. Katie, I'll be there.
Hi, I have a sorrow. I've been thinking about this for several weeks, but I haven't said anything. I have 30 people in my address book who are dead. And my sorrow is that all my friends are dying, and I just don't like it. Either that or they're moving away. So that's my sorrow.
Thank you, Phyllis. You're not alone. Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Rung, and a couple weeks ago we were visiting up in State College to attend the graduation of my little sister in the Big Sister, Little Sister program. She graduated in sonography, and she has a job that started just this week.
Wow. Stenography. Wow.
I'm Josephine DiVincenzi, and I've been a member here off and on because I travel to New York. So very appropriate that today's sermon, because I'm leaving on Thursday, touched my heart today. But I also wanted to share, since Tony raised the issue of climate anxiety, I wanted to say how proud I was that the Green Sanctuary Committee is interested in joining with me in a project that I've been working on for 3 years to help people reduce their climate anxiety, learn what they can do, that there are many hopeful solutions to this crisis. And it may not be, well, we're seeing it in our lifetime, but the catastrophic side of what could happen if people don't change is out there for our loved ones and our grandchildren and just the world, leaving it better than we found it. So it's up to us in the third act of our lives. Many of you have wonderful skill sets. And most of all, what I want to share with you is that there is good news. And if you are interested in joining the Carbon Crew, please see me. I'll stay a little later. But we did have 10 of the 15 people on the Green Sanctuary Committee ready to step up and learn about what you can do. So keep the faith. There's lots of reasons to be hopeful.
Thanks, Josephine. Omar.
Hello, everyone. I'm new to the congregation. My name's Omar Keys. I'm happy to be a part of the congregation and today to see all you all here. And on the contrary, we've been going through a bit of sorrow. My good dear friend drowned and he passed away, and a few family members have been going through a passing and stuff like that. So it's a bit of sadness going on in our family. But thank you all for the support and for the love and good gestures. Peace be upon you.
Thank you. And so glad that you're with us. Anyone else? Oh. Okay, all right.
Good morning. I'm Camila, and I come here a few times a year, and I'm always glad to come to this congregation. I always feel welcome here, and I'm grateful for all of you for helping that happen. Additionally, I will just say that, well, my joy, honestly, is being here today. I love coming to this congregation, and I think also because I don't really go to church really that much at home, like in real life. So,
Wait.
you know.
Wait.
No, this is real life. At home, it's all on the internet, and I'm not really for that. I mean, I'm for it, I'll go, but it's not the same, you know? You gotta have coffee hour, you gotta be able to mingle. So I love coming and visiting this congregation a lot. And I'm sorry to say, but I like you people.
There
so
you go. Wow.
It's just true. Anyway,
Thank
that's
you.
all. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. My name is George, and thank you very much for mistaking me for somebody that was young. I had the pleasure of being in Gainesville, Florida last Sunday, and for the first time went to the Unitarian Church there. Not unlike this, it's just a beautiful facility where it has trees out there you can look at, but it has become a very sad congregation. There were maybe a third the number of people in the audience. And just like us, there's a lot of us that aren't here because we're on vacation, but I just couldn't sit in the audience and think that many of them are really gone. But their biggest sadness is they no longer have a minister. Their minister basically was run out of the state for fear for his own life. And they are being run by a lay congregation now. So just like we have a lot of folks that stand up there and help Tony through a service, those are the folks that are actually running the whole show now. And their educational program is nowhere near to the level that ours is, yet it has a much nicer facility. So if we could take their facility and move it here, we'd be in great shape. But my real joy is that we have someone like Tony, and we have the singers that we have, and the great congregation. So thank you very much.
Right. So a little bit of clarification. The minister in Gainesville is a trans man and just felt the incredible pressure of holding that role and wanting to speak out in a state that does not welcome trans people, a lot of people for that matter, but it's a real shame. Wonderful minister. Please join me in the spirit of meditation. This is a prayer for all the travelers, the ones who start out in beauty, who fall from grace, who step gingerly looking for the way back, and for those who are born into the margins, who travel from one liminal space to another, crossing boundaries in search of center. This is a prayer for the ones whose births are passing from darkness to darkness, who all their lives are drawn toward the light and keep moving, and for those whose journeys are a winding road that begins and ends in the same place, though only when the journey is completed do they finally know where they are. For all the travelers, young and old, aching and joyful, weary and full of life, the ones who are here and the ones who are not here, the ones who are like you, and they're all like you, and the ones who are different, for in some ways we each travel alone. This is a prayer for traveling mercies and sure-footedness, for clear vision, for bread, for your body and spirit, for water, for your safe arrival. and for everyone you see along the way. Let's share some time in silence.
I roll the window down and then begin to breathe in. The darkest country road and the strong scent of evergreen from the passenger seat as you are driving me home. Then looking upwards, I strain my eyes and try to tell the difference between shooting stars and satellites from the passenger seat as you are driving me home. Do they collide? I ask and you smile. With my feet on the dash, the world doesn't matter. When you feel embarrassed, then I'll be your pride. When you need directions, then I'll be the guide for all time. For all time.
John O'Donohue. John O'Donohue was an Irish poet, author, and priest who spoke publicly and advocated for social justice. He is best known for his speaking on Celtic spirituality that honors nature and has always accepted the equality of men and women. Every time you leave home, another road takes you into a world you were never in. New strangers on other paths await. New places that have never seen you will startle a little at your entry. Old places that know you well will pretend nothing changed since your last visit. When you travel, you find yourself alone in a different way, more attentive now to the self you bring along. Your more subtle eye watching you abroad and how what meets you touches that part of the heart that lies low at home. How you unexpectedly attune to the timbre in some voice, opening in conversation you want to take in, to where your longing has pressed hard enough inward on some unsaid dark, to create a crystal of insight you could not have known you needed to illuminate your way. When you travel, a new silence goes with you. And if you listen, you will hear what your heart would love to say. A journey can become a sacred thing. Make sure, before you go, to take the time to bless you going forth, to free your heart from ballast, so that the compass of your soul might direct you toward the territories of spirit where you will discover more of your hidden life and the urgencies that deserve to claim you. May you travel in an awakened way, gathered wisely into your inner ground, that you may not waste the invitations which wait along the way to transform you. May you travel safely, arrived refreshed, and live your time away to its fullest. Return home more enriched and free to balance the gift of days which call you.
We don't all die young to save our spark from the ravages of time, but the first and last to leave their mark someday become the traveling kind. From the wind are names of poets past. Some were friends of yours and mine, and to those unsung we lift our glass. May their songs become the traveling kind. We were born to brave this tilted world, with our hearts laid on the line, be it way crossed boy or red dirt girl, the song becomes the traveling kind. There are mountains worth their weight in gold, mere mortals dare not climb. Come ye gypsy sainted sinners bold, and claim them for the traveling kind. When the music slowly starts to fade into the light's last soft decline, let us lie down in that evening shade and rest among the traveling kind. And the song goes on for the traveling kind.
Traveling on the road. Traveling on the road has been a fulfilling experience for me. It has provided a great source of excitement and energy. Excitement is alive not only for the destination, but also for what there was to see along the way. Driving on a road is when I truly feel free. I can go anywhere, see anything, and experience new and different events. The adventure, the novelty, and the learning has been thrilling for me. The road can come with both its rewards and challenges, and I have experienced both. Yet my memories are filled with the amazing sceneries and the incredible connections with caring people. The positive experiences are what have stuck with me. Travel leads you to appreciate these miraculous moments and forget about the negatives. Sometimes the unexpected will occur, like when you discover that you're lost on the road. But wandering around has enabled you to view the most fascinating rock structures and a forest of magnificent, majestic trees. And then down the road, someone at the next gas station helps you to get back on track. Another time, a tire became flat on a highway in an unfamiliar territory. A kind, thoughtful person helped me to change the tire. We ended up being close to a town that had a park for my son to play in, which was desperately needed after a long trip. Helpful community members directed us to the stores where we needed to go. Serendipity became real. Riding in a car with someone else can create closer bonds. I learned that my son was much more open to conversation in a car. If I wanted to talk with him, it was time to get in the car. On vacations, I was more relaxed and became a better listener. On other trips, I have traveled with friends, sometimes across the country. Each of us, having different needs, created conflict that necessitated some work and communication. Learning to problem solve facilitated stronger relationships. Meaningful connections developed. Happiness really can be found with the time spent together in the car with family and friends. Traveling is a wonderful time to relax and just go with the flow. I will never forget when I was filled with joy by simply driving slowly down a country road in West Virginia. Everything was deep green around me, the trees, the moss, and the bushes. I was near a mountain that was peeking out from a beautiful blue sky. The air was refreshing and cool, a great change from the hot, muggy weather in Naples. I could roll down the windows, lean my elbow outside the car, and enjoy the breeze. Virtually no traffic, no sounds but the rustle of wind and the chirping of birds. It felt like I was in heaven. Being on the road brings out our humility. How small we are compared to the massive mountains, the superstructures and cities, and the vast bodies of water. We get to see how insignificant we are with the millions milling about. We learn to recognize and be grateful for all that there is. We develop wonder and awe for the beauty, diversity, and resilience of people. We grow and learn about the importance of everyone.
Take to the highway, won't you lend me your name? Your way and my way seem to be one and the same. But mama don't understand it. She wants to know where I've been. I'd have to be some kind of natural born fool. I wanna pass that way again, but you know you could feel it on a country road. Sail on home to Jesus, won't you, good girls and boys? I'm all in pieces, you can have your own choice. But I can see a heavenly band full of angels, and they're coming to set me free. I don't know nothing about the why or when, but I can tell you that it's bound to be, because you can feel it on a country road. I guess my feet know where they want me to go, walking on a country road. Take to the highway, won't you lend me your name? Your way and my way seem to be one and the same. Mama don't understand it. She wants to know where I've been. I have to be some kind of natural born fool. I wanna pass that way again, but you know you can feel it on a country road. Walk on down, walk on down, walk on down, walk on down, walking down a country road. La 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 country road. Walking on a country road, country road. Walking on a country road. country road.
While I didn't have to twist their arm at all, really, I'm very grateful for Sean and Abby and Dave for going along with the traveling music kind of day to day, and it sounds fabulous. Thank you so much. I also appreciate Janet's sharing, although, and I'm pretty sure she didn't share everything about traveling with her son, but my experience was a lot more chaotic than that. With two boys who always seemed to be at each other's throats in the back seat, I'm afraid that Ann and I were a little bit too liberal in our allowing them to use those little handheld games and keep their heads focused on themselves as opposed to each other. And I have a couple of clear memories of pulling off to the verge of the road to just gaze at some incredible landscape right there, and at least one of them piping up saying, "Why are we stopping here?" You know, when are we going to get there? Fortunately, something must have rubbed off on them because at this moment they are planning a meandering cross-country road trip together that will, after 3 weeks, land my son Adam in Seattle, where he'll be living for the foreseeable future. And instead of Game Boys, these days they enjoy creating playlists for their journeys. Not to blare out the window, but to augment those pieces of the road that the music seems to fit. Sometimes we like to drive along in silence, and sometimes we just like the company of a good song. Before the digital transformation, I actually did the same thing, but it takes a heck of a lot longer to record songs onto cassette tapes than it does to do it on the computer, and then all of a sudden magically have it appear on your phone that will then talk to your... It's just amazing to me. As travelers over the centuries have found out, there is an amazing difference between rushing to get to a destination and taking the time to really enjoy the journey. Possibilities unfold when you approach every step along the way with openness and curiosity. Kind of like life, in a way. Things tend to open up. The changing landscapes unfold, and you become aware of a grandeur that demands your attention, not just for its scope, but for its age, its diversity, its continual change. I remember the first time I ever drove south from Carmel in California along Route 1, the coastal road. I was totally awestruck, but I was used to the twisty, turny roads along the New England coast where you were sort of grateful to get that occasional glance through the pines at the rocks and the sea and the sky, and that too is wonderful. But driving down that road and seeing the cliffs across miles of a great bay with the Pacific just all the way out to the left as far as you can see, it's just an incredible experience. I must have stopped on that journey at least at every other turn-off for sightseeing and gotten out of the car and taken a deep breath of that incredible air and taken a few photos and listened to the wind and the sea and the song that they provided. As Janet suggested, if you let those kind of experiences in, they will change your relationship with this incredible planet, a connection with something much greater than we can ever experience if we're not taking those adventures. Every road sign along the way promises another kind of discovery. Nature is a wonderful thing and can draw us out on the road, but at every road sign there are stories of people, and they're living, and they're laughing, and they're working, and they're dying, they're coming, and they're going. In the Northeast, where I come from, wherever there was arable land, there were also stone walls, testaments to the will and industry of those early settlers and silent witnesses to their stories. The walls are ubiquitous. They'll come across a field and join you along the road and travel with you a while and then take off again in another direction. Or if you take a trail, you may find them high up on deeply wooded hills. I once read that by the late 1800s, there were enough stone walls in the Northeast to circle the globe 10 times, and each and every stone having been moved and placed by human hands, with the help of some beasts of labor, of course. Some of the folks who laid those stones were free, and some of them were not, but each moved to the rhythm and music of their own lives. And on our travels, it's worth the time to stop and listen for their echoes. And then there are the real people you meet along the way that make the adventure something more. But you have to be willing to be open to that. I remember I went to get a haircut a couple of years ago in Maryland on my journey back and forth from here to New England, and a full-blown theological discussion erupted when I somehow let it slip that I was a minister. And especially I let it slip that I was not involved in a congregation that had any dogmas or creeds. That set people talking. The barbers were a diverse group, although primarily Chinese, actually, and we ended up at the end of that laughing about the diversity of belief in that barber shop. Who would expect something like that to happen? And really, it was serendipitous because I just let something slip that I don't usually let slip. And coming home, we look for a good listener to hear the stories of our journey, and that too is an important part of the traveler's art, telling the tales of both expected and unexpected encounters we had along the way allows us to share that experience, but also to solidify those things in our own minds and remind ourselves there are more roads out there and more of ourselves to discover than we could ever imagine. The poet David Whyte wrote a perfect poem for this moment, and he penned these lines. Just beyond yourself is where you need to be. Half a step into self-forgetting and the rest restored by what you'll meet. There is a road always beckoning. When you see the two sides of it closing together at that far horizon and deep in the foundations of your own heart at exactly the same time, that's how you know it's the road you have to follow. That's how you know it's where you have to go. That's how you know you have to go. That's how you know. Just beyond yourself, it's where you need to be. As Unitarian Universalists, we know the journey is really lifelong, and that all we have and all we learn along the way is nothing unless we share it with one another, our fellow travelers in this life. Let us continue to travel and to learn and to sing together. So I'll jump in if you want me to. No, go ahead. I'll let you do it.
We'll fight over it. So as we take time to reflect on today's words and music, let us also take time to show our gratitude for this community and all that it does. This morning's offering will be gratefully received. Please consider sending a contribution today, and the information that you need to donate is on the screen. Thank you.
The Mississippi Delta was shining like a national guitar. I am following the river down the highway through the cradle of the Civil War. I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. Poor boys and pilgrims with families, and we are going to Graceland. My traveling companion is 9 years old. He's the child of my first marriage. But I've a reason to believe we both will be received in Graceland. She comes back to tell me she's gone. As if I didn't know that, as if I didn't know my own bed. As if I never noticed the way she brushed her hair from her forehead. And she said, losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow. I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. Poor boys and pilgrims with families, and we are going to Graceland. My traveling companions are ghosts in empty sockets. I'm looking at ghosts and empties. But I've a reason to believe we all will be received in Graceland. There's a girl in New York City who calls herself the human trampoline. Sometimes when I'm falling, flying, tumbling in turmoil, I say, whoa, so this is what she means. She means we're bouncing into Graceland. And I see losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody feels the wind blow. Ooh, in Graceland, Graceland, Graceland. I'm going to Graceland. For reasons I cannot explain, there's some part of me wants to see Graceland. And I may be obliged to defend every love, every ending, or maybe there's no obligations now. Reason to believe we all will be received in Graceland. Graceland, Graceland, I'm going to Graceland.
Ellen, you wanted to make an announcement? Oh.
Dan, if you can make my mic live.
Can anyone hear me? Oh, good. Hi, I'm Ellen Hemrick. A lot of you know that I've been a member of this congregation for a long time, done a lot of community organizing and activism. I am here today with Corey from Naples Pride, and we are doing a membership drive, a volunteer drive, asking for donations. This organization, you know, puts on the Pride Festival, but you might not know does homeless outreach, distributes food, has a food pantry, clothing, shelter, tents for the homeless, in addition to supporting LGBTQ folks, providing spots for the community to organize, and so much outreach. And so we're here on the pavilion at coffee hour. Come and see us, find out what you can do. We need a lot of volunteers, and there's stuff you can do in air conditioning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. So there is one event that I know of. Tomorrow night is the Interfaith Alliance at 7 here. It is also available via Zoom. And if you don't have the link, you can come see me. I can give you the email address to get the Zoom link. And then many of you know about the Floridians Protecting Freedom ballot initiative that limits government interference with abortion. If we get enough petitions signed, will be on the November 2024 ballot. We have collected at least 400,000 ballots so far, but we need 999,000. So if you have not signed, you can obtain a petition out in the foyer in the green box, and then after it's signed, drop it off in the brown box that is on that same table. Anyway, and so now, let's rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn, number 1020, in the Teal hymnal, Woyayai, and the words will also be on the screen. And I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Well, yeah. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will. And we will get there, heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya ya, whoa ya 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 ya ya.
You are not a tree. You're not bound to the ground you walk on. You have wings and dreams and a heart full of wonder. So gather yourself up and go. Spread kindness like a wildflower. Fall in love with the life you live, and always leave people better than you found them. Go in peace. Go in love. Have a wonderful day.